Let's get into the football. The Roto World player news from Houston's upset win over the Bills with Davis Mills. Yes, 3-0 Davis Mills right now. As we look at the notable fantasy performances, James Cook at the top. That long run really set the table for his night, honestly. Khalil Shakir more by volume. And then a lot of Texans. Christian Kirk, Jaden Higgins way more involved now. Nico Collins didn't get to 10 points, Matthew. And Josh Allen under 10 is really the story of this game.
This was a really good football game that was just awful for fantasy. Basically, I felt like James Cook did better than I think people expected him to be honest with, to your own point. The big run gave the touchdown, but listen, 100 yards and a touchdown against the Texans defense, which entered the week as the number one run defense in the NFL. I think Cook, awesome. And Shakur, again, they were in comeback mode the entire game. And so, this is a trend that we have seen before, guys, that that slot receivers against the Texans or players that are in the middle of the field often do well because Lassiter and Derek Stingley are so good on the outside, right? So none of that is surprising. The shocking thing to me is Josh Allen. I'm pretty sure that's Josh Allen's worst fantasy game of his career.
Yeah. Well, there's two things. One, I don't know why you still keep calling Khalil Shakir. His last name is Tupac.
I did the same thing every time.
What did I say, Shakur?
You say Tupac Shakur. Khalil Shakur. It's because Shakir.
I apologize to Mr. Shakir.
Yeah, that's okay.
I apologize to the Bills fan and his family. 110 yards. Nice day for Mr. Shakir.
We're only 4 minutes into the show. The only way is up. Secondly, Josh Allen against the Texans.
That sounds like a challenge.
Right. I was going to say bad thing to say.
To be fair to Josh Allen, and the idea that it was his worst game, maybe it was the worst game statistically, he also went 9 for 30 against the Texans last year, which people forget because it was early on in the season. He completed 9 of 30 passes against them and then went on to go and win MVP. It's just seems like a difficult matchup for Josh Allen. It's a difficult matchup for almost everyone. Will Anderson was out of his mind. I don't think that you're downgrading Josh Allen going forward. I think it's just a tough matchup and he'll snap out of it. It's just generally, Connor, is there a better defense than Houston's right now?
That's the thing. You're not downgrading Josh Allen for the rest of the season. You're downgrading who has to play the Texans because their edge pass rush is amazing. Their corners on the outside are awesome. They're really well called with DeMeco Ryans.
The funny thing is, though, who kind of torched the Texans? It was Sam Darnold and JSN. They did whatever they wanted through the air. JSN's completely out of his mind. Maybe just the best wide receiver to ever live. They had no answer for him whatsoever.
Right.
He went for 8 for 129 and could have had 200. So that is a little oddity there. But
to your point about who plays the Texans next, who plays the Texans next?
Indianapolis Colts. We got 2 games against them for the for the AFC South potentially. By the way, to add on to kind of in the same vein as Bengals AFC, Houston Texans, their odds to win the Super Bowl, some places hovering around 100 to 1. That team with that defense, Stroud coming back,
should not be 100 to 1.
Yeah, right. They have a lot of upside.
We've seen defenses like this carry teams all the way. This is as good of a defense as I've seen in a while. Yeah, right. So Stroud's been in there before.
Yep.
Man, that is deep. Maybe that's your pickup line.
Maybe.
Texans to win the Super Bowl. What do you think?
Probably going home with you, regardless of whatever, because, but the AFC is certainly wide open a little bit. Davis Mills, it's never pretty, but since becoming the starter in Week 10, he's the 7th best quarterback in fantasy football. Not a pedestrian fantasy day for him in this one, just 14.5 fantasy points for Davis Mills, 153 yards against the 2 passing touchdowns, but still, did enough, along with the defense to sort of get the win. I don't feel like that much better about the Texans pass catchers with C.J. Stroud in there. It doesn't feel like, Nico could have had a better day here.
That's probably the
right?
guy that you feel better about.
You'd feel better about with Stroud for Nico. But Nico had been really good prior to this game. I mean, just 3 targets, 11% target share for Nico Collins. He did catch all 3 passes, 3 for 55. You see it there on your screen. My best bet yesterday was Nico Collins to lead the game in receiving yards. That went to Khalil Shakir.
Yes.
And so that bet lost. Tough game for all of us on the desk in terms of the betting as well. Josh Allen did not hit his rushing prop.
To be fair, if he had it, he should have. He should have been running for his life more than he was. He just happened to sit back.
The play got hurt on, especially.
Yeah.
He was like crow hopping to throw, and he should have just taken off.
Yeah. The one thing with Nico, and agree, like the usage is not great. We'll see how it changes with Stroud next week going forward. He can only go up, but he was like the fingertip of Cole Bishop away from potentially like breaking that 50-yard touchdown. The play that he got the wind knocked out of him and kind of the momentum carried him. If Cole Bishop doesn't get his shoelaces there, we're thinking about Nico Collins a bit differently. But yeah, overall, I don't think you feel good about any of the secondary Texans pass catchers outside of kind of Dalton Schultz, who is what he is at this point. But yeah, these guys like Higgins and Knoll, they'll have moments, but Kirk, certainly can't trust them week to week.
Christian Kirk had only a 42% route participation. It's only his second game this season more than 7 points. I know he had, some of a big game here, but it's really like it's the touchdown. He basically had one big play, and he was targeted, to his credit, he was targeted a decent amount when he's out there. He just wasn't out there that much. Again, 42% route participation, didn't play a ton of snaps. I feel like you can sort of ignore Christian Kirk. You're still starting Nico Collins. I think Woody Marks is a more interesting conversation. Since week 10, he's outsnapped Nick Chubb 139-38. He's got 80% of the Texans' red zone rush attempts in that span, and yet he's been under 8 fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 games. He hasn't seen a double-digit target share since week 8. It's super weird. Like, he's getting the usage. It's just not turning into fantasy points.
Yeah, I think, Connor, and I'd be interested for your thoughts on this. To me, the Texans, they play offense like they know they have the best defensive football.
100%.
They just put the Q in the rack in the second half. Davis Mills, I thought, was really good in the first half. And then the second half, I was like, no, we are going to win this game by 1 score and rely on our defense.
They're okay grinding out games because the defense is that good. The way they can control the field all the time because they get teams on 3 and out all the time. You're right. That's the identity of defensive coaches. They have that, if we get to 20 points, we'll probably win the game mindset, which is not good for fantasy, but it's very good for the Texans right now that showed they can literally beat anybody.
Yeah, as it relates to Woody Marks, though, in theory, though, a system like that would favor the running back. We're going to try to grind it out. We're just going to try to run the ball.
But their line isn't good enough for that.
That's right.
They're just not. They're not talented enough. There's nothing schematically they can do to overcome that.
Yeah. Could actually be a good matchup for Houston against the Colts, a Colts team that's now built around its 3-star cornerbacks. It's like, well, Houston's only got 1 receiver, so is your defensive kind of construction all that valuable? And the Colts, I think, will be a team that can be run on without DeForest Buckner in there. But yeah, Woody Marks is certainly, he has usurped Nick Chubb as the lead guy in the backfield, but there's not really any explosives. There's not huge gaps being created, and he is not, I don't think, at the level of player to overcome his context, not being suboptimal in terms of the blocking. But yeah, I think he's a viable low-end RB2, high-end flex guy each week, Woody Marks, and that's about it.
I actually think he's probably a lower end flex guy just because it's the usage is there, the production hasn't been. Last thing I want to talk about from this game is we sort of started at the top with Josh Allen. Proud Fantasy Life investor Josh Allen. We love Josh Allen here. We were a pro Josh Allen show, but single-digit fantasy points first time since week 4 of last season. Second game this year without a touchdown. That was week 2. Pressured on 40% of his dropbacks, 8 sacks as well. Just absolutely crushing 8.1 fantasy points in this one. I'm in a guillotine league with all the people on the Dan Le Batard show. I do a weekly appearance on the Dan Le Batard show. Shout out to our friends at DLS, our comrades here on Peacock.
That's right.
Wow. A lot of Russian speak lately.
Why not?
With the hash and the comrades.
Yeah, maybe I'm a Russian agent. You ever think about that?
Your country won't be in the Olympics this year, so you have to find a new nation.
No one would ever suspect you. Let me tell you. It would be a massive reveal.
Well, I like chicken nuggets too much. I think I have a truly American diet. But here's what I would say. So our colleagues, maybe is a better way to say on Peacock.
So absurd.
Niet, Jay, niet. Let me
This whole
finish.
time you were a Russian agent. This whole time. Man, you really held on. Year 4 of this show. How many years did you do stuff at the other network?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
finally took a non-American to figure it out. That's the best part.
Mr. Spock over here. Getting the
alien.
mystery here. This is vodka.
to the charade.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Very good.
This is vodka. Anyway, what I will. Yeah, here you go. Who
Who do you think you are? Good to see you in the chat. No Russian would consume as much Diet Coke as Goat Berry.
Yeah, it's fair. Except I put vodka in it, so
Right.
who's
Is it
thinking
really
2 steps
Diet
ahead?
Diet vodka.
Yeah, diet and vodka. All right. What I was going to say about Josh Allen, though, is that I'm in a guillotine league with everyone on the Dan Le Batard show, and we're down to 2. It's me and Chris Cody, the producer, and So it's literally like we have.
You got all the good players.
We got all the good players.
Right.
We both have
Yeah.
ridiculously loaded teams. My quarterback is Josh Allen.
Of course.
That's
Of
me
course.
and ours.
Yeah. Oh, you're down to.
Yeah, it's down to 5 of us, right? You're
Okay.
in it.
I'm still hanging
Yeah,
around.
you're
It's
so
me, you, producer Pete, and I forget who the last 2 are.
That don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But
It's not me. I lost
there's
a
a
couple
good
weeks ago
chance
on that
I'm assuming I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
be cut
It's
from
just.
that
It's
last.
just. Oh,
I'm sure a lot of people are.
Oh yeah, it's a crushing defeat again because
That's why
they
we
play some
drink free,
man-to-man
by the
coverage
way.
and we thought that Josh Allen rushing
Yeah.
would hit, and just the idea that he's not going to throw any touchdown passes or run for one,
Yeah.
just shocking.
To me, kind of one of the sneaky.
A week after being like the fantasy player of the year. So sorry to interrupt, but I was just going to. But because of this, Connor, because of you and because of me and because of everyone, Josh Allen managers drink for free today. Absolutely, like you are starting off the week in a big hole. So the least we can do is buy you a vodka. You know,
Serve one up.
serve one up.
With
as
Diet Coke
well.
on the side if you prefer.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Hail Mother Russia.
Yeah. By the way, actually, I went to Russia like 10 years ago. And
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was.
That's how
stunned.
you sussed me out.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
stunned to
right.
see in bars in Moscow and St. Petersburg. You know what kind of vodka they serve? Absolute, which is
Really?
Swedish.
That
Such a
is
letdown. This is ridiculous.
perplexing.
That's shocking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, stunning. Anyway, back to Josh Allen's fantasy performance. I think kind of one of the most underrated things, maybe under-discussed things of the season is that last year Josh Allen, for the whole year, took 14 sacks.
Yeah.
He took 8 last night.
Right.
And this wasn't a one-week thing.
No,
He's been
no.
taking a ton of sacks this year. He's been below average on the season in terms of sack rate. Now, it's the same offensive line, basically. I think
Deion Dawkins had a rough night.
he had a rough one, and right tackle as well. Brown had to leave the game.
Yeah, Brown left the game, yep.
And Vandermark came in, which wasn't ideal either. But Allen I think it's combo offensive line a bit worse. Weapons not separating. Keon Coleman is literally being made inactive.
Play calling is stale.
Play calling is
Joe
stale,
Brady.
and Josh just doesn't quite look at the same level.
He's trying to be. He's falling back into I have to be Superman. That's exactly what it is.
It just feels like, and I'm sure this will be addressed in the offseason if the Bills don't make it to the Super Bowl, and at the moment it doesn't look like they're gonna. They're teams that are strong in the AFC. But like it does feel like it's Josh Allen and a bunch of guys. It's just like, hey, here, we're going to just surround, and they are wasting the prime. Like, they've got a generational quarterback. They've got a generational quarterback, and like but he doesn't have a Travis Kelce. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill. Like, he doesn't have some of the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has had. He doesn't have a Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins.
He's got Josh Palmer.
Right, that's right. He's got Khalil Shakir, who Khalil Shakir should be a nice role
Shakur.
player. Stop it. Now you're just screwing with me. Niet.
Steven wants us to get out of this game so badly. He's asked me for the last 7 minutes.
Shakir is somebody that should be like a nice role player, not your leading receiver.
Yes, that's
Is
exactly
my
I
point.
agree with
Is
that.
my point. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do have one last question to this
Yeah.
game, Jay. If the Texans keep winning, can Will Anderson win Defensive Player of the Year?
I think he has gone past Micah Parsons as the number 1 challenger to Myles Garrett, which saddens me as I have a lot of Micah Parsons when defensive player. But I think the reality is Texans have the number 1 defense right now by most measures. Anderson is 2 sacks ahead of Parsons. The issue is Myles Garrett has 15 sacks in 10 games and is the best defensive player of his generation, having the best season of his career. So I think that Garrett will have to slow down. The issue with Garrett slowing down is he's about to play Geno Smith and Cam Ward. So I think Garrett will likely just win.
Not a
but
great bet.
I think Will Anderson is now the second most likely player to win that award, and he was magnificent last night.
And for people that are holding Josh Allen for MVP tickets, should they do what you did with your Saints tickets? Your Saints playoff tickets?
Yeah,
shredder.
not quite. Don't throw him in the bin, but put him next to the bin. Put him bin adjacent. Because Allen now, I think that Stafford and May set a pretty high bar for that award. And if you want to beat those guys, I think it's now at the point where like you have to win every game. Like if Josh Allen, he has to run the slate. He's got to win 6 games and then have Stafford not get the 1 seed. So I think he drifted out to 15-1 range to win MVP. I think that's pretty fair.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com. And I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched. Or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.